About 5 rare low doc business lines of credit that approve you super fast for large amounts and cheap APRs.
One in a million, one in a million, one in a million. You know they're coming up to me, cause I'm just the kind of flow with a stinging in the beat, but the rhythm's getting higher. Go, 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 go. One in a million, one in a million, one in a million, one in a million, one in a million.
Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Studio Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you were to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee, or tea, or vodka. Now let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to talk to you about 5 rare low doc business lines of credit that approve you super fast for large amounts and cheap APRs. Number 5, we have Headway Capital. Our score, 8 over 10. When you think about Headway Capital, you want to think about 2 things. Number 1, they have a super fast, I would say, approval process. In other words, you first have to do a soft pull, and if you like their offers, you go for a hard pull, and they will approve you super fast. And the maximum credit limit is $100,000. Okay, this is kind of cool. So you can see if you qualify in minutes. Okay, you can get your cash within 24 hours. Not a problem. You have no prepayment penalties. This is really good, and we love the tenor of this line of credit. Also, the maturity. So you have 24 months. This is really good. And the cool thing is they are even flexible in terms of you paying them back. Okay, so you can pay weekly or monthly. It's totally up to you. It's totally up to your liquidity situation, how your business is doing, all that kind of stuff. So Headway Capital, they actually call their line of credit, they call it true line of credit. Okay, what we love also with Headway Capital is the fact that they are very transparent. So the pricing is transparent. They will work with you to make sure that the revolving line of credit you get from them is actually suitable for your business. Okay, and when it comes to approving you, they look at a constellation of factors, not just your credit score, or not just your performance, your business performance. They look at the big picture, and we love that. In other words, they're giving you a chance to qualify. Okay, and so bottom line is you apply it in minutes. It took us 3 minutes to apply. You can get up to $100,000. Okay, they will review, they will ask questions if they have to. When they call you, do not ghost them. Okay, very important to be responsive here. Okay, they probably can call you to ask a couple of questions. Make sure that you have a business bank account also. Okay, and if they approve your application, you'll receive the money within 24 hours, and that's pretty cool. Now, in terms of their qualifications, time in business, at least 1 year. Your annual revenue, at least $50,000 or greater. We're speaking about gross revenue. And your FICO score, minimum 300. Number 4, I want to talk to you about Fundbox. Our score, 8.5 over 10. Now, when you think about Fundbox, I want you to think about a trifecta. So basically, they have transparent prices. Okay, they are really fast in terms of approving you. And what we love is they're really fast in terms of giving you the cash you need. Okay, so you can move fast, confidently with this line of credit. And the cool thing is that you are totally in control. They don't charge you any prepayment penalty. In other words, if you feel like you want to pay your line of credit faster, this is kind of cool. This is really good. And they also have a soft pull process. In other words, your credit score is preserved, right? You're not getting a ding in your credit report, in your credit score rather, because of a hard inquiry. So this is really good, and you can actually pay them back over 12 or 24 weeks. That's the only problem with this line of credit. Their repayment term, their repayment window is kind of short. You're looking at 12 weeks or 24 weeks. Okay, when you really think about it, 12 weeks, that's less than 3 months, really. Okay, and 24 weeks, that's less than 6 months. So really, you want to be aware of those conditions. So to qualify for this Fundbox line of credit, you got to be based in the United States. Personal FICO score of 600, that's the minimum. $100,000 at least in annual revenue. You got to have a business checking account, and you must be ideally at least 6 months in business. So those are the conditions. Not really complicated, nothing really major here, but this is something you need to be aware of. And in addition to their business line of credit, the cool thing about Fundbox is they actually have two additional programs that could be interesting for you. They have what they call the Flex Pay. So Flex Pay gives you more ways to pay important business expenses. So when a payment is due, for example, let's say $1,000 due today, Fundbox will make the payments with your Flex account provided by MetaBank, giving you 3 extra business days to pay with no fees. And you can decide how to repay within the 3-day grace period or automatically draw on your line of credit on a 12 or 24-week term based on your selected preference. So this is really good. Besides FlexPay, they also have Fundbox Plus. So for $99 a month, Fundbox line of credit customers can upgrade to this program if they want exclusive benefits. So you can get, for instance, 20% lower fees, 52-week repayment terms, monthly repayment option, priority support, and more. So they're basically giving you the option to upgrade to a more expensive plan with them. Number 3, I want to talk to you about On Deck. Folks, we are still having a conversation about low documentation business lines of credit that approve you super fast for large amounts, okay? And for On Deck, our score is 9/10. So when you think about On Deck, you are speaking about revolving lines of credit from $6,000 to $100,000. Okay, that's the delta. That's the range you have to work with. The repayment term, 12 months. Okay, and the cool thing about this is that the term actually resets after each withdrawal. So, and you have to do automatic weekly payments. They're not waiting for your ass to pay them on a monthly basis. They want you to actually pay every week, and that's fair, and that's actually manageable. You can do it, okay? So with On Deck, you have a couple of things to pay attention to. So you have instant funding, so you get money in your account within seconds every time you make a withdrawal, 24/7, even on weekends and nights. You only pay for what you borrow, right? So you can withdraw what you need when you need it, and pay interest on the financing you use, okay? And one thing we love about On Deck is that they actually have a consolidated payments for all withdrawals. This is really good because if your business is booming and you're just making money, you don't want to be bothered with having multiple payments. So they allow you to make one weekly payments on all withdrawals, avoiding the headache of multiple payment schedules. This is really good. You access more funds automatically, okay? So you basically receive automatic credit limit increase when they review your credit profile and determine that you qualify. And they do this on a continual basis, so the opportunity is often there, okay? You are able to build business credit with On Deck, okay? And you have access, there are no prepayment penalties, and Fundbox, what am I talking about Fundbox? I'm speaking about On Deck. On Deck has transparent pricing. So this is really good. So what are the minimum eligibility requirements for an On Deck line of credit? Time in business, at least 1 year. Your FICO score, at least 600. Your business revenue, at least $100,000. And you got to have a business checking account. This is important, okay? And you can actually use an On Deck line of credit, business line of credit for several things. For instance, reopening your business, bridging cash flow gaps. We all know what those are. Covering payroll, hiring more employees, pay suppliers, and all that kind of stuff. Number 2, I want to talk to you about SBG funding. Our score, 9.5/10. The cool thing about SBG funding is that they are in nearly every industry. And I'm talking about nationwide, okay? So you really don't have any restrictions here. They will work with you, and they work with different industries. And one thing we love about SBG funding is the customer service. Excellent. They will work with you. They will assign a relationship manager to your business, somebody who knows your industry and who knows what kind of funding you need, and will give you suggestions. So this is really good. So SBG funding is really good. And when you think about this player, you got to think about a lot of things. So you have weekly and monthly payment options available. In terms of the terms, they range from 6 to 24 months. So we're speaking about 6 months to 2 years, okay? And the APRs starts at 1.75% per month, depending on your credit history. You have a quick and easy application process, okay? In some cases, they will actually decide on your loan within 12 hours. But the standard time frame is 24 hours, which is really good. And you have credit lines up to $150,000, $150,000. On top of that, you have no prepayment penalties, okay? And you're able to actually pay them fast if your liquidity situation so allows. So here is what you need to qualify. Time in business, 6 months at least. FICO score, 500 at least. They want to see your 3 most recent business bank statements. And you got to pull in at least $10,000 in monthly revenue. So those are the 4 things, and you can see that they don't have a constellation of paperwork that they need from you. Very simple. But one thing you have to be very clear about when you contact SBG Funding is to make sure that whatever they ask you for clarification, or if they ask you any additional piece of documentation, you want to get back to them ASAP. I've said this before, but with SBG Funding, they're really peculiar on that. They want you to provide all the documentation fast. And if they ask questions, and you can ask questions too, they're really open. You can ask questions during the application process. Anything that you don't understand, ask them question. The good thing is that they will assign to you someone who will be dedicated to your account, who will help you succeed, who will help you get approved. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another section of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. I'm having a conversation with you today about the 5 rare low doc business lines of credit that approve you super fast for large amounts and cheap APRs. Number 1, the best of the best in our view in this category is National Business Capital. Our score 10 over 10. So when you think about National Business Capital, I want you to think about a couple of things. First of all, the line amount here is bigger. They are very generous. We are speaking about $10,000 to $5 million. Okay, so where everybody was giving you a cheap ass loan amount of $100,000 or $150,000, they are giving you up to $5 million. Boss, this is really good. And you have flexible terms, 6 months to 10 years. Okay, so here again, when we speak about a business line of credit from NBC, National Business Capital, we're not speaking about 24 weeks. We're not speaking about 12 weeks. We're not speaking about 1 year. We're speaking about 6 months to 10 years. Okay. And time to fund 1 to 3 days. So, and the reason they're able to do this is because NBC, National Business Capital, is not a direct lender. So they are a marketplace lender. Okay. So they have more than 75 lenders in their network. So I'm talking about a mishmash of big banks, small banks, credit unions, alternative lenders, online lenders, all that kind of stuff. So when you go through them, so basically you're going through NBC, you have a single application that gets dispatched to a constellation of lenders, and the lenders who is comfortable with your profile will get back to you, and you can start you can actually deepen the conversation. If you get a business line of credit from NBC, you can use it for nearly anything. You can use it to grow your business. You can use it for operating costs. Do you need money for marketing campaigns? Are you having seasonal slow periods? This is something, we got to think of. Do you want cash to take care of inventory or supplies, take care of payroll? You can nearly use money you get from NBC, an NBC lender. You can use that cash for anything, okay? And here are the requirements for a National Business Capital line of credit. So 1 year in business. So even as a young, growing business, you can still find financing options. This is because we're speaking about a lender marketplace, okay? So you have more chances. You got to have at least $120,000 in annual revenue, okay? That's minimum of $10,000 in monthly revenue, and no minimum credit score. So they actually have financing options for businesses with excellent and bad credit. And one thing I want to say is that before we close today's conversation, I want to talk to you about the process of getting a business line of credit. This is important. You got to have a clear idea how the whole thing works. First of all, you need to decide how much funding you need. See, that's where the conversation starts, right? So you want to go into your cash inflows and cash outflows. There is a statement called a statement of cash flows. This is where you have cash flows from operating activities, cash flows from investing activities, and cash flows from financing activities. This statement right there will tell you how much you need. And you want to check your eligibility. As you can see, as you probably saw a couple of minutes ago, a lot of lenders want you to meet certain threshold, certain floors in terms of credit history, business revenue, and time in business. This trifecta is really important. So, number one, decide how much funding you need. Number two, check your eligibility. Number three, research and compare lenders, right? I mean, when we speak about lenders, we are speaking about a lot of players, banks and credit unions, online lenders, alternative lenders. I mean, within the banking category, you have big banks, you have community banks, you have regional banks, okay? And gather the required documentation. Obviously, you want to look for a low doc business line of credit, but depending on how low doc the line of credit is, they might ask you for some types of paperwork. Generally, they might ask for personal and business tax returns, business licenses, articles of incorporation or organization, personal and business bank statements, profit and loss statements, financial statements overall, business plan, business lease. So building lease rather. So I'm not saying here they will ask all this information, but they might ask one or two or three, okay? And once you do this, just submit your application. Put your name, your business name, your social security number, your EIN if available, the desired line amount, the purpose of the line of credit, your annual revenue. And the cool thing here is that if your line of credit or loan, your business line of credit or loan is approved, a lender will send you a loan agreement to sign before issuing your line of credit you can draw from. So there is a process, and usually if you have a soft pull in place, they're not checking your credit score right off the bat. But once everything's fine, if they give you offers that you like, they will basically run a hard pull on you, especially if you have not set up the application process on an EIN only basis. They will basically check your personal credit score systematically, and so once they have that, and you should be good to go. They will run a hard pull on you, and you if you're fine with the results, if they are fine with the result also, you sign the promissory note and you start drawing from your funds. So before I close today's conversation, I want to talk to you about some common business line of credit application mistakes, because a lot of people apply for business line of credits and they have no idea how to do so, okay? Make sure to double check the numbers, really important. I'm speaking about your contact information. I'm speaking about data in your financial statements, okay? And also you want to double check other relevant details before submitting. So if you include an error, this could delay the process or hurt your chances of being approved. Okay, this is important. So one thing I want to tell you here is that if you picked any player, any lender in the list I gave you earlier, make sure that you use an email or an email address or phone number that is that you check frequently. Okay, because the lender might contact you with additional questions. So it is really important that you don't miss a phone call or email. Okay. And also make sure that you pay attention to a few costs, a few fees, because there are some fees that are attached to business lines of credit in general. So you have the interest rate. I mean, everybody knows the interest rate, but you also have something called the draw fee. So some lenders may charge a draw fee, which is incurred anytime you draw upon your line of credit. And the fee actually varies based on the lender, but it's usually between 1% and 2% of the amount withdrawn at the time. Okay, so it's something you need to keep in mind. So for example, if you have a business line of credit with a draw fee of 2% and you draw $10,000, the draw fee is $200. You also got to think about your payment processing fee, if applicable. Okay, this fee is usually between $15 and $35. This is actually if you choose to have the money sent via wire transfer, for example, they might charge you a little extra. They might charge you a late fee. Let's say you missed the payment due date. Okay, they also have a termination fee. They might have a termination fee. So a business line of credit typically has a fixed end date. If you want to close out the line of credit before that date, you may have to pay a termination fee between 1% and 2% of your loan amount, of your line amount. Okay. However, not all lenders charge a termination fee. And you also have a prepayment penalty. So if you repay the withdrawn amount ahead of schedule, some lenders may charge you a prepayment penalty, usually between 3% and 5% of the balance. So you want to look for a lender that does not charge a prepayment penalty. Before I do the recap, please check out this loan evaluation approach. We have a strict methodology on this show when it comes to categorizing, reviewing, and listing business lines of credit. Check this out. All right, quickly recap to this conversation. So here are 5 rare low doc business lines of credit that approve you super fast for large amounts and cheap APRs. Number 1, National Business Capital, 10 over 10. Number 2, SBG Funding, 9.5 over 10. Number 3, On Deck, 9 over 10. Number 4, Fundbox, 8.5 over 10. Number 5, Headway Capital, 8 over 10. Thank you so much for your attention. I will speak to you another time, but until then, remember, stay marvelous.